Hello, everybody. I'm glad to be back here with you again on this Thursday. We got two really special people today that I've come to not only know, but to really love because of who they are and what they are doing in the country of Russia, massive Russia. I was so surprised just a few years ago when I realized, the United States has 4 time zones. I thought, a big country, Then I realized that Russia has 11 time zones. And I mean, massive country, just amazing. But you're going to meet Gerry and Marla Schroeder today, and we've had an opportunity to be hosted by them a couple of times in different settings. And we're looking forward to the opportunity to work with them again. But I want you to hear from them today and hear how God is using them specifically in this massive nation that needs the Lord just like every place else. So let me bring them on. This is Gerry and Marla. And there they are. Hey, guys.
Hey. Glad to be here with you guys.
Good to see you. Good to see you. And we had a great time with you about 3 years ago with the orchestra. Was it that?
About 2018,
Yeah. We had a great time going into schools of music and then being within the context of your ministry of your conference, Soli Deo Gloria, and we'll talk about that here in just a minute. Tell me this. Let me start with you, Marla, if you don't mind, and tell me where are you from originally?
Well, I grew up in Western New York, in a rural town in Western New York. And I had Christian parents. I had the privilege of coming to know Christ when I was very young, and just really was involved in church. And my dad was a deacon in the church. So yeah, it was a great time of growing up.
Now, how old were you when you met Jesus for real?
I was, I can't remember quite the age, but I think I was like 6 or 7.
Young, yeah. Well, and how great that you were able to begin your life that much earlier and with Jesus in your heart. How about you, Gerry?
Grew up in northern Illinois, just south of Wisconsin, in a rural community as well, Freeport, Illinois. And my parents I grew up in a Christian family. My parents took us to church regularly, and I trusted Christ when I was about 10, and have been involved in music and ministry basically ever since.
Now, Gerry, you've had music training, obviously.
Yes. Yeah, my mom made me go to take piano lessons starting in 1st or 2nd grade, I believe, and then I started playing brass instruments in the band, and then more on keyboards as I started going to Liberty University.
I love your statement. My mom made me take piano when I was.
Yeah, I'd rather be outside playing baseball, but I'm really grateful now that she made me do it. So.
And you know what? Me too. And my mom made me take piano as well. And I remember I only took piano lessons for about 4 years, but I am so thankful today because of just the basic skills I've had. Now, Marla, have you done any music study or anything? Or?
I played French horn when I was in high school. I started on trumpet and then moved to French horn, and then sang in choirs. My family is very musical. We used to sing together on the radio when we were growing up. And then when I was in college, I was able to be part of a singing team and traveled all over the world with it. So I was very privileged and had a great time with that.
Well, my question actually, I didn't know I was going to get quite that complete an answer that you have been involved in musical things as well for that long. That's awesome. Mm-hmm. And you went from the easy horn to the hard horn.
That's right.
So I know that's true.
Kind of a point of interest. We both played French horn.
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. And and I don't know if you know, my son has been there with you to teach. My son's a French horn player,
and so his wife, right?
Yeah, Julianne also. They actually met playing in a Christian orchestra here in Nashville. And there was some matchmaking going on at that concert.
Well, there you go. Learn an instrument so you can find your spouse.
That's you know what? There's a whole lot worse ways, I can tell you. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. Well, anyhow, so tell me this. How did y'all meet?
Well, we were in college. I'm a few years older than he is. So actually, I was a youth worker, and when I was like a freshman or sophomore in college, and he was one of the high school students in a small group that I was helping lead. And so that's where we first met each other.
Yeah. Now, was that at Lynchburg?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that was at Liberty.
Yes.
Yeah. My family moved. Our whole family moved down to Liberty so my parents could go to the university there. It was Liberty College or Lynchburg College or Liberty Baptist College at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And so we were there, and that's how we met. And then 7 years later, we got married. She had to wait for me to grow up, she always says.
Yeah, I understand, and you're still waiting, right, Marla?
Yeah, that's right.
Well, actually, today's our anniversary, 37 years.
Well, congratulations! I'm sure we're going to see some views on that from some of our people that are going to be writing in today and making comments. Well, so your anniversary, congratulations!
Thank you.
Just out of curiosity, by the way, what year did you graduate, each of you, from Liberty?
I graduated in the fall of 79.
79,
Mm-hmm.
I was the spring of 1980.
Okay, all right. Because my daughter went there, but she graduated about 9 years later. She graduated in '89. So, I'm so thankful that she had the privilege of being a part of that school as well. Well, let's today I'm talking to you because you're our mission partners in Russia, and Gerry. Now you served as a minister of music initially, right, in the church?
Right. As soon as we both ended up moving to Dallas after finishing up at Liberty University back in basically 79 and 80, and we're involved in a church there for 15 years, and then we wanted to move back north, so we moved straight up the same street 4 miles and ended up at another church in the Dallas area, Bent Tree Bible Fellowship, and served there until 2002.
Now, did that have something to do at that point in time with you feeling some kind of a call to the mission field?
Well, when I was at Liberty, I actually took my very first trip to Mexico, my very first mission trip. And as a 16-year-old student, I really felt like, wow, we have so much in the United States that other people do not have. They don't have the opportunity to hear the gospel as prevalent as we do in the United States. And the churches don't have the resources. As a young student musician, we could have notes and things to play, and they just didn't have that. And so I just felt that all the way back then, but always felt like God wanted us to be in the United States until 2001, when I took a trip with our Bent Tree Bible Fellowship team to Russia for the first time. And again, I just was overwhelmed with the sense of the heart of the Russian people, the fact that they're just like us. They serve, they have passions, and they just didn't have the abilities and the training and the resource at their disposal to be able to use. And said, we need to help with that. So,
isn't it incredible how God touches a specific heart for a specific reason, and Russia was yours. Now, Marla, how did you feel about all of this, the whole missions thing?
Well, I surrendered to missions when I was in college, and I didn't know what that would mean. It was more just, I was ready for ministry. I was ready to go wherever God wanted me to go. And then I remember being a young mom and sitting home, folding my clothes, all the clothes from the kids and everything, and watching a show about Russia and the depravity there that was going on among a lot of the Christians and everything. And right then I said, Lord, I'd be willing to go to Russia if you wanted me to. And then I just, nothing happened. And so it wasn't until years later that Gerry went, and all of a sudden, he has this passion to go to Russia. And I shared that with him, and he was like really shocked. So it was, God already, started putting that burden on my heart years before that. So I think it's just really cool what the journey that God set us on.
One of the things that has overwhelmed me at this point in time in my life, at my chronologically mature age, is there's nobody that connects the dots like God does.
Yeah.
And he does it. And for any of us that have any seriously any years behind us, to be able to look back and to see the number of times that he has truly responded and connected the right dots at the right time, if we're paying attention. And obviously you were. Well, I love that. And I have seen some of your ministry in action over there. Tell me in a little bit more detail, each of you, exactly what your strategy is with the Russian believers over there and beyond.
Well, when we were first preparing to come over to Russia, we didn't know exactly what that strategy was going to look like, but we were able to see God connecting the dots all the way through over the past 40 years, even relationships that God began to form back when we were in college that were now connecting us with people in Russia to put all this together. And we began to realize that it was real important as a strategy to help people understand that Christ empowered worship is transformational. You know, when you understand who you are in Christ, when you understand that what gets done through you by Christ is him alone, that helps you just be transformed because he works in you. And so as we started to communicate that and the biblical foundation of that, we started to say, you know, music is such a common universal language. There might be different styles and different things that people like to do, but especially with orchestra, you come in, you play an instrument. It's just the same as to play an instrument in Russian or in English. It doesn't matter. And so that was just a tool to help us to get connected with people. I have a lot of background in sound, so I was able to help with the sound technology and to help churches bridge this gap and have a theological foundation of what worship is and the musical part of that. And then also have an understanding of how to use technology and more contemporary music that was kind of coming in like a tsunami after the wall came down. And so our strategy is just to really help develop the resources and to nurture the leaders, especially the younger leaders, and how to have a healthy music worship component in your church. So that's where that's our main focus of how we do that.
Well, once again, I want to get into a little bit more specifics of like your conference, the Soli Deo Gloria conference. But Marla, how would you relate or expand on what Gerry just shared? Anything?
Well, I think for us, a lot of it is just really digging into the people that we're working most closely with. There's our staff, Andre, Olga, Nastya, Anya, different ones that are, have come alongside and have a passion for what we're doing, and they're helping us. And watching them grow in their responsibilities within the local church as well as within our organization, and seeing what God is doing through them, and how making them realize that they have a responsibility, but also the joy of investing in others and in other churches, and making them realize that they have something that they can share with others also. So,
well, tell me just a little bit real quick about the Soli Deo Gloria conference. Just tell me kind of what is that all part of? How does it come together? What do you do there?
Soli Deo Gloria is a worship conference it's a tool to help us nurture and mentor the leaders, and we do that with a couple ways that it accomplishes it. We're actually able to mentor our leaders that we work with on a week-to-week basis by having them develop and teach the things that we've been training them to other people who come to the conference. This past year, we did it all online, and that gave us the opportunity to have many more Americans involved because they were recording and being involved that way. A few years back, we were able to have the orchestra actually come and be a part of that conference. So not only were you helping to encourage our team, but also reaching to the next generation of worship leaders who are coming to the conference to be a part of that. And Marla can share some of the things that she's experienced from when the team comes over from the States.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been great. Well, we have a lot of different size teams that come, and we have a fine arts day camp that we do in the summertime for children. But then our main event for worship leaders and pastors is the Soli Deo Gloria conference. And I think the main thing that the people really take away, they love the master classes and what they're taught, and the biblical theological teaching. But I think the one thing that they really come away from is the encouragement that they get from the American teams, also the just the camaraderie with other worship leaders. So many of these people come from across Russia in small towns, or even down in some other neighboring countries that are Russian speaking, and they come in and they're very discouraged and tired. And we can infuse them with energy and resources and ideas, and just helping them connect with other Russians too, and learning to share ideas. So it's just a great time. And I guess this last time when you guys were there, I remember this one man came up to me and he was just so excited. He was a pastor from a church, and he'd flown a number of hours, away to come. And he was just so excited to videotape everything so he could send it back to his wife and, and share that experience with her because she wasn't able to come. So those are just different things that, that I remember, that I know is impactful in those lives.
Well, it was a great blessing for us to be there, and but I also know that you've actually brought my son over there as one, and he's not the only one that you've done with, but he has come over to actually teach teaching songwriting. And tell me a little bit about the purpose of that.
Well, we had been teaching songwriting in every Soli Deo conference that we've done. We've done 10 now, and I don't know, God just prompted me to say, instead of teaching about it, you actually should do it. I mean, because Greg Nelson has come and taught about it, and Kirk came. And I said, let's bring these songwriting coaches in and actually work with some of our key songwriters. And I had no idea what that was going to look like. And we actually ended up writing 6 songs. Well, 9 songs, but 6 that we really think, wow, we could do these songs. And we don't have time to go into all the great stories about them. There's some fantastic stories. We'll have those on Facebook on our russiaworship.org, and we can give you a link to it because we're getting ready to talk about some of them. But Kirk co-wrote a song with 3 of our worship leaders from different churches. And actually, we played it when we were at Judson, just a demo version of it. And I said, it'd be nice if we could finish out the track with this. And then so some of the guys that have traveled with UNO camp and got together, and Daniel Bondarchuk kind of took hold of this and just produced a track for it. And now we have a recording of it, and we're getting ready to release that. And we've got a couple of other songs that we're really trying to get to that level as well. And Andre talks about it. He says, when songs are translated, they're great. But when the songs are written from the heart and the soul of the Russian culture, they just seem to resonate a little better. And that's what we have here. One of the songs was really embraced by a pastor in his final days before he passed away from COVID. One of the songs that was written, and these are the kinds of things we want to do. And mentoring and developing the Russian church and having the support and the encouragement from people in America is awesome with that. And we're going to do that again. We may do it virtually before we can get back in there, but do another songwriting workshop with some of the guys. Kirk has helped us. Rand Jackson has helped us. Greg Nelson has been helping us. And we've been talking to others as well. So we're looking forward to that.
That is awesome. Well, we're close on our time right now, but I would like to ask you this. GMP loves to serve wherever we can. And and that what I'm getting ready to tell you is true. Whenever we talk with a potential mission partner, we always say we don't bring any agenda. We want to come and serve you. How can we fit into your strategy? That's our heartbeat, to bring whatever you need for us to do, not to bring our own agenda at all. We're coming to Russia. We're in the Russian culture. We're not trying to bring American culture to you. So has GMP, in the time that we've been with you, have we been helpful? Has GMP been helpful to your ministry?
Well, Camp, we are so appreciative of GMP. That attitude of coming in and supporting and serving, and because that's what we're doing. We're not trying to come in and push American culture on the Russian church. We're coming in to help and support them in what they want to do and how they can grow. And so that whole approach and that mentality that GMP brings is awesome. We've had tremendous encouragement and support from your leadership team, giving us advice and suggestions on some things to do, because it really is a partnership. It's not like, oh, hey, we need you to come and do this. No, sometimes there's things that you can really contribute to help us, and we can kind of feedback. You've seen needs that we've had on the financial side because we've needed equipment and provided the funds for that, and GMP members have donated for that.
It's our GMP participants, our GMP people are the ones that did that.
Yeah, and we are so
and instruments,
the
instruments. Gave away to Russian students and stuff.
That
awesome.
That trip when you came over and went to the music school up the street for elementary and middle school and high school students, and went and did the concert, standing room only. One of the best outreach opportunities that the church has been able to have, and then giving instruments away with one of the co-mayors of that Moscow suburb. Was a tremendous outreach and connection for the church with that. And so we're hoping as soon as the COVID's release, lets everybody travel again, that we can get back and have people coming back to actually visit with us. We have some of the GMP members that are helping us with our website design, helping us with financial accounting, because we actually really do this over the internet. Way before Zoom was even a household word, we were doing this for a long time. So
we are so
get you guys back.
We are so thankful to be a part. We got about 15 seconds left. Do you have any closing words for our GMP folks that are watching you today?
We just want to say thank you so much for the sacrifice that you make to come and to share your talents and your words of encouragement and just your bright, smiley faces. And thank you so much for your just willingness.
Well, we hope to continue to be a blessing, and as we will be blessed as well. So I want to tell all our GMP folks I know that you enjoyed this time with Gerry and Marla today, and please pray for them. And remember that website, russiaworship.org. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm. That's it.
russiaworship.org. You can go there and check out a little more about what they're doing, have been doing, and how you might be able to continue with support of minimally prayer and anything else. So I want to say goodbye to all my GMP friends today, and Gerry and Marla, thank you once again. And I do hope I get to see you in person sometime soon.
Yes.
Yeah,
us too.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.